And speaking, what Thinking Atheist just said about, this trust level, and all of a sudden it's like you're untrustworthy and have no morals if you declare that you don't believe in God. A man named Joe Zamecki, he is the state of Texas director for American Atheists, and he's been running a little thing down in Austin called Atheists Helping the Homeless, and Sunday mornings he's out there passing out toiletries and personal care items and a little bit of food, and he's been on the show before. Joe, thanks for joining us. Hello, Joe. Maybe we lost.
Hello. Yes. Hi.
You there?
Yes, this is Joe.
Hey, Joe. You're on. Anyway, thanks for joining us with the show. And what was your background? Did you grew up Catholic or?
Yes.
I'm getting some feedback somewhere.
I'm not surprised. You have a lot of people on the line.
All right, that was the source of the noise. So anyway, Joe, what was your background? Were you brought up in religion or not?
Yes, I was, and thank you very much for having me on, Deborah.
Thank you for being there.
Yes, I was raised in a Catholic family, in a Catholic home, and like my sister, I was sent to 2 Catholic schools that were private schools, very religious, and for me growing up, religion was a very physical part of my life, and basically it was rammed in my face, 6 days a week, including Sundays, with my family in church, and so I got quite a bit of it too much, and I that's what a lot of people tell me anyway, and a lot of Christians tell me I just got, kind of Catholicism that was just turned up too loud or whatever, but in my experience, I just learned a whole lot about the Bible that a lot of Christians haven't yet. And so one thing I like to do is to remind them. And I do that with a YouTube channel and some videos and atheist activism. And gosh, I've met so many wonderful people on our side of reality that it's just, it's really heartwarming to every day know that our whole movement seems to be based upon honesty above everything else.
Well, that's the thing, and I like it, our side of reality. That's a wonderful way to put this. And, one of the things that there was so much, somebody had their computer on or something, so I've muted a bunch of the phones. I had mentioned your Atheists Helping the Homeless that you're doing. I don't know if you could hear it through all the feedback. But it's kind of cool that you're out there, what is it, 1 Sunday a month or 2, out there helping people under what's called God's Own Freeway down there in Austin?
Yes, that's right, and I'm so glad and thankful for your help in helping me to put the word out about this to our movement. Yeah, once a month we go to, here in Austin, Texas, under I-35, which is the big interstate freeway cutting through Austin, north and south, and a few months ago or years ago, I'm not sure which, but a lot of Christians have called I-35 God's freeway because of the presence of a lot of churches along that freeway, which is patently silly if you ask me, but they did it and made a lot of news. But anyway, here in Austin we have a lot of homeless people because it's a liberal city, and Hurricane Katrina and the economy have all contributed to putting a whole lot of good Americans who are hardworking people onto the streets as homeless people. And here in Austin it's such great weather that we have a great deal of homeless people. And so for years, it's been a big issue in city politics and all. And I went down last year and checked out the situation there under God's Freeway once a week is what happens. A lot of charities go there and help out the homeless by giving away food. And what I noticed is that a whole lot of them, a lot of these groups were religious groups, and it seemed like they were kind of taking advantage of the situation to get more exposure, but to help people out is a good enough cause, and that's justifiable, and that's something we need, and I was proud of that help, but there was so much Jesus in the air. And so I decided that instead of ramming Jesus in people's face, what people need is help, and that's all. And so I figured there needs to be a secular presence under that bridge once a month at least, in which people get help without preaching. And that's what we've done for almost a year now. Our first giveaway was in September of last year, and we're about to celebrate an anniversary. And
so it was in September.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? You and we started the God discussion show around then too. So I guess we're both reaching our first anniversary here. Oh my gosh! Well, and I like the fact that you call it Atheists Helping the Homeless. You know, some people have said make it Humanists Helping the Homeless, or Free Thinkers Helping the Homeless. But the fact that you use the word atheist, I think, is so important, because there is that perception out there that atheists are just these stingy little self-centered people, and the fact that you use that word, I think, draws quite a bit of attention.
Well, yes, and that was very intentional. We know that humanism involves caring about people in a compassionate way, people in need especially, but the definition of atheism doesn't necessarily include that at all. And I think a lot of religious people feel that that is a perfect avenue for attacking atheism, saying that we don't care because it is not within our definition to care, and we don't have religion, and they think that that's the source of caring, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But what we all understand is very simply that the good parts about humanity are common denominators between us and every other human, and that within good, helpful religious people, there is the same thing that is within good, helpful atheist people, and that whenever we atheists hear the old canard that we don't help, or there are no atheists in foxholes, or we don't have morals, things like that, we realize that usually they're not talking about secular humanists by name, because it's in the definition of humanism that you care about people, and it's harder to attack that logically. But with atheism, since it doesn't mention your morality in the definition, a lot of religious people think we don't have any morality, and so it's very easy to pick on us for that reason. But what I have found working in this movement is that we have wonderful, compassionate people, just like in every other legitimate group anyway, and that we do help. And most of the help groups out there are secular anyway, but a lot of Christians simply don't believe that an atheist can be helpful. And so that is one of the reasons why we form this group, so that atheists can have a group by name to point to as an example of how we do care and we are doing something. And the old canard that we don't help, well, it's like William Donahue at the Catholic League saying we don't have the morality, and also that we want to destroy the basis for law and order in society. It's a total side issue, but I mean, good people prove it.
Exactly. He is just outrageous.